right, got him. All right, well, welcome to the second part two of Bob Bly's Ultimate Guide to eBook Writing Success, and we're going to do a copy review hot seat or more a ebook copy review hot seat. So Bob and I are going to go through, look at the submissions you've put in for your ebooks, and we'll give you some of our assessments and feedback, ways maybe to improve what you submitted. And so we're going to just jump right in and get started with this. So let me go to the first slide.
Okay, my immediate thing is fiction, and fiction sells better than nonfiction as a Kindle ebook on Amazon. Not as well, you know, in the traditional ebook PDF model. So this should be a Kindle ebook. Now the good news is that two monster things, vampires and zombies, have become an overwhelmingly popular subgenre. So, and plus this has an element of sex in it, which also sells. So this could do well. My only concern is some point vampire is going to become overcrowded. It may be close to that now, but normally vampire books do well.
That was my exact thought when I saw this, that, you know, if we think about that needle or in a product curve from 0, 1 beginning to start, and then it moves over to the other side, we might be at that point where vampire could be oversaturated. But I like this topic. I actually thought that it's kind of neat that they tangle with terrorists and shadowed by a CIA agent, so we've got a little bit of that intrigue in there. So I think there's something there definitely to this, and the only way to know where we are in that saturation curve is, you know, put it out there and give it a try. And
yeah, I personally would read this because I like these kind of books.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay.
Okay.
Next one is from Pamela, and it looks like this is just sort of trying to talk about her idea, so take a quick sec here to read through it.
She says the working title is Women Baby Boomers, which needs a better title, and it's things to do, places to go, low-cost volunteering, skincare, keeping safe on the internet, grandchildren. To me, it's not niched enough. Women is a niche, baby boomers is a niche, so that's a niche market. But a true niche is combining a market with a topic. So what I would think would work is this to be maybe a series, skincare for women baby boomers, keeping safe on the internet and email for women baby boomers, volunteering and doing community service and work for women baby boomers. I see a series. To put all this in one book, it's just too unfocused. It's not specific enough for an ebook.
Exactly. You know, definitely women are a big market, and I think that, yes, women baby boomers, and she even says needs a better title, so I think we need to find an edge for that. I think there's something in the, you know, the moving and creating an adventure. So, you know, it could be even a series of, you know, adventure travel is big, so maybe there's a series of books or ebooks on adventure travel for baby boomer women. But, you know, there's definitely here, and I like the idea of the spinoff. It's just trying to really find a snazzier title to pull the idea out.
Yeah, to me, this is a series title. Okay, so Countdown to Exams. This is a good idea. There have been several classic paperback books published by traditional publishers on how to study, and they've done very well, and I always thought there's not enough published on how to learn and how to study. So and this one is more targeted. It's not about learning. He's not having the pretense of making you more educated. He's helping you get A's on your exam. So I think this is very good.
Yeah.
You know,
flip as we talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is very good. I might maybe in the title get something, or in the subtitle, you know, Countdown to Exams. You know, the surefire way to get nothing but A's on your tests and quizzes or something like that.
And just so we can kind of see what other parts are
Yeah, this is just the, you know, the content, and it's all meaty and it all makes sense. Yeah, I mean, this is
Yeah.
Very sensible. It's well organized, and I think this would sell.
I agree. I think there could never be a shortage of books on how to ace exams, take exams.
And there are
yes.
a shortage. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Which is good for him.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. This is from Patricia.
So she's working on a website to help parents navigate the high school years in college. So I don't know so the ebook idea is I coach and mentor high school and college students in writing their college and postgraduate essays. That's a good idea. The better thing would be, although I'm not sure of the ethics of it, would be half of the book is how to do it, and the other half is packed with actual examples of college and high school essays that have gotten people into schools. Mm-hmm. The problem with that is the risk of someone copying it and being disqualified because the software the professors and the teachers use can detect plagiarism.
True. Good point.
And if there's a plagiarism in an essay to get into a college, you're just going to be rejected out of hand. So it's tricky, but definitely there's something to do with helping write their college essay. I like the topic.
Exactly, and I like on this slide where, she's detailing a little bit more about sentence structure, readability. These are many of the things that we even talk about in copywriting, even in writing editorial reports of FK scores. So, there's definitely, this is great information, and so I think definitely this would work. And just quickly go through the next, see if there's anything else in here. No. So, yeah, I think that this is a good topic, and I think there's a lot of meaty stuff that she's got in here. I even like this crack the code. So there's a couple cool little things in here. I think that could make this book be a good seller. Any other
I agree.
comments?
And, of course, examples would make it better,
yes.
But you have to consider the risk of them plagiarizing the samples.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's
because if you tell them not to do it, they're still going to do it.
Right.
Now
right,
when I look at this, the quest, it's a very vague topic. Could be, another book in the Hobbit series.
Let's see what this is the second half. So we've got the quest.
Identifying the church in our religious environment. I have to admit, I have no idea what that means. So this doesn't grab me at all.
Let me just flip to the next and see if there's anything else in here that might help
us. It's still the same subject, identifying the church in our religious environment. I know how to find my church. I don't see what, maybe he means something else besides identifying, but I don't think he's solving a problem. I don't think people are waking up going, but I better identify my church in today's religious environment. I just don't think he's solving a problem that people care about.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to scan through this to see if there's anything else in here that we could kind of flip around. And I don't. Yeah,
my problem is I'm not well versed in that religion and church. So maybe a Christian writer could do better, but I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but I don't get what it's about.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard to understand exactly what you're trying to do here. What are you trying to pull out? And if I think we've said it before that saying, if you can't say it succinctly in a paragraph or so, explain it to your audience, then it's just hard for anybody to grasp. So you have to find a way to get that idea down. And here we've scanned through the different pages and can't find that thing that we can latch onto, that we identify, that we understand. I think that's sort of go back to the drawing board type of thing and try to clearly identify what it is you want to do. I can't seem to grab it, nor can Bob in this.
I can't either.
All right, next one is from William, the official Psychowave Playbook.
Well, that stimulates my curiosity. The title doesn't give you the idea that it's about investing, which it is, and I don't think you would assume that for the title, so I would modify the title like something like The Investor's Guide to Psychowave Trading or something like that. And it's some kind of investing. I don't know whether it's Oh, well, it seems like it's mainly stocks and mutual funds. So it's not options or anything. So I look at this, and without having the book in front of us, we don't know if this is truly new, or if a cycle wave is a made-up term and it's not any different than any other indicator. From the table of contents, I don't see anything different. You and I have seen, Sandy, a gazillion investing things, and this looks pretty generic.
So I will say the one thing that caught my eye is the stretch, trading the rubber band,
yeah, I don't know what that's. That's different.
Well, there is actually D.R. Barton. He's published by Money Mat Press, and his whole trading style is he does trade rubber bands, which is a type of formation. Like there's all kinds of charting for trading, and you can identify when the stock is. They call it a snap point. So. We could you could go look at D.R. Barton, some of his stuff, and get a sense of what he does. They've turned it into a multi-million-dollar franchise. So this, I think there's something here. It's just a cycle wave. I think probably in the title, you'd have to make the title a little more engaging for everyday person to understand what it is that we're talking about. So I would work on retitling, but I kind of get this just because I'm familiar with D.R. Barton and his rubber band trading strategy.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that term. So the question is cycle wave something different that he's making rubber band part of, or cycle wave just sort of made up term for marketing, and is this really about rubber bands?
Yeah, so, but something in here, it's just a matter of, I think, retitling and to pull out this whole concept of trading with the rubber band.
But if he does trading with rubber bands, then he has to decide how am I different than the guy you mentioned.
Yeah, and that's what I'm suggesting. Take a look at that guy's franchise, look at some of his e-letters, and you'll kind of get a sense of how that person, DR, has been positioned.
Okay.
Okay, another one. 50 simple ways busy people can boost energy and vitality levels. Banish fatigue for good. I kind of like the banish fatigue for good. I'd love to be able to do that. Nice little subtitle, and I think this is totally relevant topic. Everybody wants to figure out how to turn back the clock when aging. I want to stop aging. So I think there's something to this idea for sure.
I like it. There has been a lot on it, both in terms of dietary supplement products and newsletters from Dr. Mercola, from Dr. Sears, and there's been already some books on it, but I think there's room for more. This is a huge epidemic in America today. People don't get enough sleep, they are worn out, they're fatigued, and they want a solution. I would buy this.
Exactly. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think those are good emotional words too. Vanish, fatigue. Yeah,
it's good. It's phrased well. Banish is a good word.
Okay, another one from Diane.
I would rather have one idea. So maybe we'll just do number one, because everyone should get one into it. And I think number one is probably the best of them, with number 4 being the second best.
Yes.
But Snap Memoir, people, this is a big thing. If you read Writer's Digest and The Writer, the two major markets in the field, there's a lot of interest among people who want to write memoirs, which is a little beyond sensible, because, face it, most of us don't have lives interesting enough, to write a memoir about. No one would read it. And yet everyone wants to do it, and I think giving a set of memoir outlines that you could follow, templates, would sell to this vast market of people that want to write memoirs. I wouldn't buy this because I don't want to write a memoir, but this would sell.
Yeah, and actually maybe it could be titled as Snap Memoir Templates. You know what I mean? Something like that. I think there's something to this idea of this instant, the snap, you know, there's what's popular now, they call it pop-up shop. So this idea that it can be done quickly and instantly, I really like, but I like your idea too, the template. So I think that this could be a nice selling little ebook here.
Yeah, and there's plenty of e-lists that go to writers, so you can sell a lot through affiliates.
And I'm just skipping those since we're doing the one, and going to Karen's submission. And her idea is on healthy homes, your healthy RV, making sure your RV won't hurt you.
I've written RV copy, and I can tell you, therefore, I don't own an RV, and I never would want to, but I've written copy in this field, and I know RV people think their needs are different than bus people, car people, truck people, motorcycle people, so they will buy stuff specific to RV, and the idea of a safety, you know, with all these things, I think throws a scare into you, and I think this could sell.
Yeah, and, you know, I might just switch the wording around, your healthy RV, and maybe do something like healthy RV living or traveling, something like that. It just, to me, your healthy RV, it makes me feel like I don't.
Or what about how to make sure your new RV, or how to make sure your RV isn't hazardous to your health?
Something like that, yeah, to sort of pull out the emphasis on the benefit to the person who has the RV and not on the RV itself. So I think something like that would make it a little more snappy, but it definitely, you know, could turn this into a good seller as an ebook.
Yeah, and there's a market for stuff on RV, and there are lists that go to RV. Now, AAA for managers, attitude adjustment, aphorisms. How do you pronounce aphorisms like that?
Aphorisms, that's how I would.
Aphorisms, okay.
Okay,
so
I
didn't like, if you go back one slide, I didn't like the title. When I see this, I'm thinking joining AAA roadside service for managers. That's what AAA means. And I have no idea what an attitude adjustment aphorism is. So, you know, this page doesn't work. Let's take a look at the next page. It's
how to manage in a hostile environment.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of management books. Management books are not great as for information marketing, for PDF ebooks, because managers tend to have other sources of information. They tend not to be big buyers of downloadable ebooks. They tend to buy traditional hardcover and paperback books in Barnes & Noble. So I don't know that this is, you know, they're not, you know, information marketing customers. And, you know, AAA does not seem the same as how to manage in a hostile environment. So this to me seems a bit unfocused, and I don't see the second sentence. How is this similar to 1 Minute Manager? I don't see that.
Yeah, it's like almost three different ideas: managing a hostile environment, the AAA stuff, and then the 1 Minute Manager. So I think it's like a decision which one do you want to go with? If you want to do 1 Minute Manager style, then it doesn't work with the AA, and you have to get rid of that completely, or how to manage. I don't even know if you did a 1 Minute Manager talking about hostile environment, those almost wouldn't work. So I think it's a matter of kind of sitting down and trying to think of the big idea here. What's the thing that you're really trying to hit upon? What's the problem you're trying to solve? And then maybe trying to go about it that way.
When this is sold in a corporate level with traditional business book publishers, it's sold as this topic, conflict resolution. That's what they call it.
Okay. So I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that, I can't even see that, so. All right.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. To publish low-price how-to ebooks. Well, this isn't a single advice. It's a book idea. It's suggestion on a line of books. So I'm not sure why, Kim, you want to publish books in the $2.99 to $9.99 range. It's much harder to make money. People will pay more for ebooks than that. At those prices, you're never going to be able to get affiliates to manage them, because if your book price is $5 and you're giving me a 50% affiliate commission, I'm making $2.50. I'm just not interested. And you have just listed, a laundry list of generic ideas here: money, employment, career, health, homeschooling, child care, end of life. It's too many things. I think you have to pick one, like end of life. And I happen to know Kim has worked in a hospice, so that might be one area to focus on. End of life, hospice care, end of life, wills and powers of attorney and trust. End of life, making a will and keep treating your heirs fairly. End of life, how to preserve your estate against the new IRS rules that take more of your wealth away, which is a big financial topic. So I would pick one of these areas, and I would plan to publish, Kim, like we normally do, because Kim has written some books for my business, a 15,000-word book. I use her all the time. She's a very good writer, and I know Kim well. So, Kim, I would do our usual 50, 60-page book, 15, 17, 18,000 words, and charge what we charge, $29 or $39. I don't see the advantage to doing it at this low price.
Yeah, I'm just going to scan to see if there's anything else in here.
Yeah, I mean, we know all these things are of interest.
Yeah, I think, you work with her, so you have more of the knowledge background. It feels like you like the idea of the smart solutions as how you want, to name your company, but specifically the books that you want to do, that's where I think you need to, just trying to do smart solutions for health and all these different things. It just doesn't feel like it's been like, we've got the exact thing here.
I agree with that.
Okay, from Terry. Mental health concerns, depression, anxiety.
The first sentence throws me, hold on. I would like to write on my passion and profession: mental health concerns, depression, anxiety, how to effectively either stop having or cope better with depression and anxiety. Depression and anxiety are a huge problem. Lots of information of all types and services are sold to help people with this. Here, I don't see a USP, a unique selling proposition, or a hook. How is this different than the other 8 gazillion books on how to deal with depression and anxiety?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that, and that's a smart critique of this, is finding that USP, and it all starts there. Whenever we're doing anything, books, selling any product, is, well, what makes it so different, so unique than the hundreds or millions of others out there? And you're addressing a lot of the solutions that probably a lot of the other books have too, but we need to figure out the thing that makes this stand out above anything else.
Yeah, unless Terry is a psychotherapist and has case studies or solutions that are novel, but I don't see that here so far.
Yeah. So this is just sort of sitting, one of those times where you sit down and really try to figure out what is the thing that you could do different than any book out there. And sometimes that comes from competitive analysis. Look at all the books that are out there, see what are they saying, and then where can you find room to fit your idea that's very different.
Yep.
All right.
All right, that's just a cartoon. By the way, if you put that in your ebook, you better get written permission or you're going to have big trouble unless it's your cartoon.
All right, let's see, what is this one?
Wait, is this a new book? Is this? Oh, yes, it's from Alexander. So I don't know what the book is. There's no title.
Why did I write this book? Someone aged between 15 and 25. So I specifically had young people in mind and writing it, but it's relevant for all. I'm just trying to find what is the idea. Here's a short description. wants to be, don't put the cart in front of the horse.
Okay, so as I'm reading this, I don't see anything here again that's different than any other financial books. Now, his angle is that he's getting you, your kids when they're young. This is what our friend Justin Ford did in his Seeds of Wealth, and Richard Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad guy, had a book for younger people, and Mark Ford had Automatic Wealth for Graduates. So it's been done before, and I don't see what's different here.
Yeah, I'm just going to see if there's any other thing that...
The understanding compound interest, I mean, this is all old news.
Yeah, there's
spending plan, understanding money, leverage, retirement, starting a business, increasing your income, increasing your savings, all accurate, all been done before.
Yeah.
Same thing here.
I'm just going to, I think we've said.
Right. Well, here's the new, wait, you skipped the new one. Oh, yeah, here's the new one.
There we go, sorry. All right. Tricks of predatory golf hustler. Protect your hard-earned money from clutches. Enjoy your game of golf more. So this is golfing?
It's a golf book, and we know that golf is a very big selling book in the e-book market, both on Kindle and on private websites as a downloadable PDF. And golfers will spend a lot of money on stuff to help their game get better. Dirty Little Secrets of a Successful Golf Hustler, I think, works because people would assume, well, if he's a golf hustler, he's really good, and he's trying to cheat people. But to do that, he knows stuff that those other golfers don't. So, I think what we'd want is a subhead that kind of teased at what those secrets would be if they're not swing, golfing form, or practice, because as far as I know, swing, golfing form, or practice are the whole of golf. So you'd have to hint to me, not just say what it's not, but hint to me, what is it different? Is it a psychological technique? Is it, putting Vaseline on your golf club or whatever? I don't know. But,
Let me see if there's any.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, this is really just telling us what he's doing. Okay, so we can go on.
Okay.
And then there's more of it. Valuable tricks of the trade for golf hustling. You got to have right up front what some of, those tricks of the trade are, or the nature of them. Because right now, I'm not interested because all you've said is it's not your swing, and your putting, that's what I think golf is. So I'm not tempted. You haven't given me any indication that you really know secrets that I don't. These are too generic. I like the second bullet, that the hustler keeps tabs on you. Maybe you should keep tabs on the other golfers, but not working for me.
I'm trying to, I'm honestly, is this a book of betting on golfers? That's what I think.
I think.
Yeah.
See, I'm not sure. At first I thought it was how you could be a better golfer by learning the golf. But it looks like betting on being a hustler or betting on hustlers, and I don't know how much appeal that has. I don't know this, but my gut instinct is most people I know who play golf, they're not looking to be hustlers. They're looking what the golf market wants is not betting. The casino market wants betting, and Rich Armstrong wrote for that. But what the golf market wants is better swing, hit my drives, higher and farther, more accuracy, make my putts, become a scratch golfer. So this, to me, isn't what they want.
Yeah, it really, it is the whole betting on it, and it does make you wonder how wide that niche is, how big it is, which I'm not sure it would be a a niche that people would be excited about. Oh, I want to know about that betting on golfing. I don't know enough about betting on golfing to know.
Yeah, I mean, I may be wrong, but you know, from what I've been involved somewhat in the golf market, this isn't what I've seen work. So maybe he has something I'm just not smart enough to recognize.
Okay, let's go to the next one from Carla.
Okay. Now, this is kind of interesting because I actually wrote a book with a traditional publisher, Quill Driver Books, called How to Start a New Business at Age 50 or Older. And segmenting, that's a good niche. Niching a topic, which, as Carla has, start a new business with a market in your 70s. Now, my concern is I chose 50 because I think a lot of people at 50 are starting to look at the end of their career. They're being downsized. It's very hard for someone who's 50 and older, by and large, to get another job. You know, employers want millennials. So the idea of starting a new business in your 50s is good. Does someone in their 70s want to start a new business? I don't know that they do. I would think they just want to retire and take it easy. But I may be wrong because I'm not, you know, I'm not that age, although I'm getting closer and closer. So I'm going to be 60 in July, so it's not that far away. But I would have said how to start a business in 50, which is what I did, maybe 60. 70 seems older to me, but, you know, and I think 80 would certainly be wrong. So I'm thinking for this one, maybe consider 60.
Yeah, bring it down a little bit. I will say I thought, you know, the rekindling a flair for business. I kind of like that. I like the word rekindling. So maybe if you're trying to appeal to people who are 70 and it's about business, maybe you have to just be more direct with it. You know, the Entrepreneur's Guide, you know, for 70-year-olds, and not that that's a good title, but just come out like that. And, you know, I could see some people at that age wanting to do something in their spare time and make some money with it.
Yeah, or I could just see something as start and run a successful business after 70. Something like that. But I think maybe the age is 60.
All right. So here's another one from Clara.
Now, she sees I'm reaching for the 50 to 70-year-olds. If you say 70, you're going to get the 60 to 80-year-olds. So if you want the 50 to 70-year-olds, say in your title 60.
All right, so this is a book on natural remedies that anyone can use for optimum health.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, we're on another one.
Yeah, another one.
Again, I hate to be a broken record. This is good. People want natural remedies. Health is a big seller in e-books and traditional books and in other information products, but I don't see a thing new here. You have to tell me, for me to say, yes, go, what's the hook? What's different? Here's the question. What's different or better about your book than the 500 or 5,000 other natural remedies books that are already out there?
And that's the thing, I think, when coming up with the e-books is if you're going to, when you're thinking of the market, think about how big it is. And as Bob's saying, you know, natural remedies and solutions is huge. So now you're up against tons of, you know, millions of different people and companies that are in the same space. And that's why it's important. You have to figure out how to make yourself stand out among all these people who own this space already, which can be hard to do, but that requires the work of just sitting down and trying to figure out, you know, what message that you have is different than anything else they've seen, and that's where the work comes from. And you can be creative.
Yeah, and I don't think the 8 laws does it because they're all the things that everyone talks about.
Yes, exactly.
Powerful immune system is an interesting idea, except that also has been done.
Yes.
Forgive the expression, to the death.
Right. So this is just, again, you know, it was said before.
This is too generic.
Yeah, too generic. Okay, from Fran.
This is a possibility. You know, let's go let's go to the next page. I have also written a book years ago, decades ago, that was published by, remember Prentice Hall? It was published by Prentice, it was published by Prentice Hall, called Keeping Clients Satisfied. And it did pretty well. So definitely, you know, if there is, you know, books on customer service, and can you go back one slide? I want to see the title again. Back 2 slides. Value-added services. I don't know if those are customer services or the services that the firm offers. The title is not catchy. It's a little flat. And saying it's all about anticipation, it doesn't draw me in. There's got to be a better way to say that. You know, it's not what you want. It's what you think your customers want, or something like that. But so this has possibilities. It needs a catchier, in this case, title.
Right. And I'm just let's just see if there's any. Okay, that's. Yeah,
the table of contents I thought was good. Yeah. I mean, I think it's not complete. You're leaving out some things. I suggest if you go on the internet and buy Keeping Clients Satisfied, my book, for $1 used, that might be helpful to you. Give you some ideas.
To give a little catchier title to the whole thing.
Yeah, you need a catchier title. You need to sit down. I know the way I do headlines, and I'm sure Sandy does it too, and her writers do it too. When I'm writing a headline, I write at least 10 to 12 headlines minimum. I do the same with report and book titles. And then you show them to people and see what they like. Exactly,
yeah. It's like I always find the first headline you write is really like a placeholder.
Your headline, your title here to me is a placeholder. It's just a script.
And then
it's not catchy.
Right. And sometimes you have the placeholders, and then as you do the body copy, and in this case, as you get the parts of the book together, then you could come back and you might find from there, you find a better way to phrase your headline.
Yep. This is, that ebook slide was taken from my ebook, which I allow people to use. Now, is this a different thing?
I think it's more of just explaining more your superhero employees.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything in the rest of this. Is a big just seeing if there's any other things that might help us.
The only thing that pops out is maybe there is something with superhero. How to become a superhero manager with superhero employees. That might be. That sounds good. That might be your title and your hook. You know, because superheroes are big today, and you know, I think that's the hook. Superhero.
I like that. That catches my attention.
That catches me. So rework some titles with that, and this is good. Here's like part of the book. How do you implement? I wouldn't say start implementing. I would just say, how do you implement a superhero mindset?
Yeah, now that I see this, even this superhero mindset, this is some good stuff. So I think definitely the angle for this is superhero in that vein.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is from Elisa Mead, developing and evaluating training products for your employees. This would be bought by HR managers and training directors only, I believe. Maybe or unless she's aiming it at small business. But if you're going to corporate people, these training and HR directors buy from established publishers like, what is it, Hosey Bass, I think, something like that, John Wiley. You know, they buy, you know, the American Management Association, they buy, you know, $40, $50 hardcover books from big-name publishers. That's what they're looking for. Or they buy courses that are multimedia courses from companies like, you know, business and legal reports, and there are other, you know, I can't name them off the top of my head, but there are a number of companies. Drake B. Morin is another one. They buy, you know, products at big cost from those companies. So I don't think they're going on the internet and looking for e-books on this to download. They're going on Amazon and searching for books by well-known professors or speakers or consultants in the field of management or training, there's plenty of resources. You can get a lot of books like this from the ASTD, the American Society of Training and Development. So I'm not sure, A, this has been done before a lot of times, and B, I'm not sure they would buy it here.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I wonder if there's a way to position this, and maybe it's for, the small business person who, has a few employees, a handful, let's say 5, they still need some help. So maybe there's a way to sort of, and I'm just riffing here, but maybe there's a way to sort of reposition this and aim it toward a small business and make it.
The problem with that, Sandy, is I think the owner or manager of a small business, training is really not big on his mind, versus in the big corporation, they have people whose only job is that.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I was just trying to figure out how to spin this to do something with it, and it may be that it just isn't.
Yeah, right now I don't see it.
From Becky, meditation using biblical principles.
So that combines two things. People are interested in the Bible, and principles are, and people are interested in meditation. So I'm interested. I once wrote an ad, I think I mentioned this last time, for a book on what people ate in the ancient times, and so we combined two things, the Bible and nutrition, and the title was, What Did Jesus Eat? So I see something here. I see something here.
I do too. I like that. I like the concept a lot. I'm just wondering if there's like meditation using biblical principles, and then had a subhead to it, which sort of pulls out like a benefit. What's a thing that's going to happen with these principles? Am I going to be transformed? That's kind of what I'm looking for. Like how to make that title just pop a little bit more, and I think adding a subhead would do it.
Yeah, I don't know what the subhead would be yet, but this is good. This is a good idea.
Okay.
Okay. This is about how processed foods are damaging the health of our children. In e-books, people are not looking for, there's 3 levels of content writing. The lowest is why, in terms of interest of buyers. Why are processed foods damaging health? The next better level is what? What can I do about it? And that might be, don't buy junk food. The higher than what to do is how to do it. Recipes for casseroles made with sprouts, instead of cheese doodles or whatever. So it's an interesting idea, but it's not telling me anything that helps me. It would have to be how processed foods are killing our kids or damaging the health of our children, ... and what you can do about it. It has to have a how-to, not just a why.
Yeah, I'm just going to scan to see if there's any other little things that might pop out. This is more of the background story. And
yeah, like you just say, obese children, we already know that. What do I do if my kid is obese, or to stop my kid from becoming obese? That's what the book has to tell me.
Yeah, I agree. I think just looking to find any words that are popping out, but I don't. So I think the topic is fine. It's just trying to make this in a way that really stands out and is eye-catchy, and maybe something.
Here's the problem. She's telling interesting information, but what the reader wants is actionable ideas. What do I do?
Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's like, there's what not to do type of things. There used to be a product Agora had, what doctors don't tell you. So maybe this is sort of the flip of that. You
could be
flip
that,
it way. Yeah, to give it a little unique spin. There was even a book years ago on makeup, what not to buy at the makeup counter. So it's sort of the same thing where the woman went through and said, look at all the stuff they're putting in here. So read this first. So it could be in that vein, and it might make this work. Yeah.
But as it is now, it was more like an article, Time Magazine or something. So this is an e-book. Let's see. Cup of Coffee series on so this is a series, not a single book idea.
Okay.
Reinventing yourself one story at a time. We chat with successful people who have changed their lives fast with transformational stories. Case studies, if that's all it is, people are not going to want it, because case studies are interesting and amusing, but they don't want that from an e-book. Again, that's just what to do, and you see other people's examples. They want a strategy, a plan, a system for reinventing themselves. And one of our AWAI students and affiliates, Peter Fogel, who's often at boot camp, has written 2 books on reinventing yourself. So if you would go online, search Peter Fogel, and buy his books, they might show you what someone else has done. Now, here's what we do need. Second line, a blueprint for reinventing yourself. That's what people want. And the cup of coffee idea, to me, it's irrelevant. I don't get that.
It feels a little bit like the word, a cup of coffee gun in the person's mind of how they could see this series unfolding, or, about the cup of coffee, which really sort of becomes a distraction.
It's a distraction.
Yes, exactly. The blueprint is a really good idea.
Yeah, blueprint is a good idea. And not only a good idea, it's a strong word. People want blueprints, maps, strategies, systems, and so yes, that would work.
That definitely would work. There's some excitement in that. All right, from Christy.
Okay, so this is from Christy, how to start your own homestay business for international students and work from home. My problem, and I'm sure it'll be explained in the slides, I don't know the word homestay business. I don't know what that is.
All right, let's see.
That's work at home, stay at home. I've never heard the word homestay. So right away, I'm lost. Let's see if homestay networks and agencies assist homestay hosts and students. You really need to define the word homestay, or maybe it's just my ignorance. But do you mean stay at home? Do you mean kids who have exchange students live in your house?
That's what it sounds like when I see it. That was what I was thinking, exchange.
But when you have kids, exchange students stay in your house, you don't charge them. I mean, it's free. So I don't see how that's a business. So the idea seems like it could be something, but it's just not, to me, expressed clearly enough for me to evaluate it. I know if we gave this book proposal to a traditional publisher, it would not sell because it's not clear.
Right. I agree 100%. I was going to say, it's just like if we're struggling to identify the main thrust of the book and the idea just from these few little things, if we can't do it, then I think that's a sign to sort of go back and rework the idea. Because you're absolutely right. When you do submit to book publishers, and I had to do that when I did mine with John Wiley, you got to get it succinct, and they have to be able to know right away what you're talking about.
Yeah, and when we had exchange students, they went to our regular school. So when they were staying at your house, they just lived with you and slept and ate and socialized. You didn't teach them. So, I don't know that field. So this is from David. Touchstone Treasures, Plum Selection from, Selections from Wisdom Through the Ages. This might make a good gift book, but e-books are not gift books. This looks like it should be a paperback of this side sold in gift shops and stationery stores. That's the kind of sale that this makes. I don't see it as an e-book.
Now, let me just see what are we going?
Well, it's just a copyright page.
Yeah.
This is not really new. This has been done before, where people take quotes or stories from a list of famous people. The way he packaged it with that cover, again, might sell as a gift book, but that's a long shot.
Yeah, and I know these are just mock-ups, but even that red there with the blue shading, it's kind of hard, I think, on the eye.
Yeah, the word kind of disappears.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a design. It needs better design. And his list of people is good, but we've heard other books summing up their thoughts in one way or another.
All right. Well, then let's go to this one from Diane.
Okay, from Diane.
Productivity time management tips for freelance.
So there's two things here. Why don't we go with the second one? Because productivity and time management tips for freelancers, I know is a topic I can sell, and I actually have an ebook on that. It's called Super Productivity for Writers. So if you go to my site and click Bly.com and click on products, you can find that book, Super Productivity for Writers. Not that she couldn't do one too, but I've already done it. Now, how to raise a confident child. Parenting also sells very well, and this is a different angle. Not a smart child, not a child who gets A's, not a child who goes to an Ivy League school, not a child who's gets a sports scholarship, but confident child. And that's something I think every parent wants. They want happy child too, which could be a second book. So I like that idea. And then she says, I'm also interested in writing erotica. Don't go in too many niches. Pick one or two. Start with the children. And I don't know anything about writing erotica, so I can't help you there.
I like that too, and even like sort of an envy of other mothers, because this is a thing that new parents do always want to know, and we all wonder, have we raised our children to be confident enough, strong enough, smart enough, all those things. So this definitely has room in this market for this type of book.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
All right, from Donna.
Let's see.
This is her background. Let me go to the.
So then it's religion.
How to pick your.
So here it is. How to have more of the Holy Spirit in your life.
Ooh.
Parenting, relationships, finances. That's a series of books.
Yeah.
How to have more of the Holy Spirit in your life. How to have more of the Holy Spirit in your parenting, in your relationships. So, yeah, I think you can do a series of books, how to have more of the Holy Spirit in your blank, and it could be endless. So I like this idea. I do, too, because as soon as you read that out loud, that's why I went, ooh, because I think that is it. There's a lot to do, and I love the idea that this is what's nice when you see stuff like this, is like, you can see the idea, but then you can also see how it branches out to create these series of ideas. And I think that's a sort of an indication you're onto something when you can see that popping out. Yeah, I mean, it's a small version of chicken soup. It could be a series. Absolutely. Okay, this is from Eric. This is the kind of book that people don't really want to buy as an e-book, because e-books are usually how-to or instructional in nature. I'm not sure this would sell well as a Kindle e-book. This is the kind of book I would do a book proposal on and try to sell to one of the many Christian publishers in the United States. This really belongs to be published by the Christian press. And therefore, there's an interesting idea in the first line. Can Christianity regain its position of preeminence and influence? A lot of Christians, both lay people and clergy, are concerned about that, so he might have something here. Even the paradigm shift is a neat thing to talk about. This is one of those big ideas. It's not an e-book. It's a big idea book, which would be worthy of trying to see what you can do with it. I think. Yeah, this could be a 200-page trade paperback or hardcover. Yeah, that's where I see this book. So maybe Eric, you should consider getting a proposal out to some of the religious book publishers. This is from Gail. Educator Aid eBooks. Teachers, moms who are homeschooled, parents want to supplement their children's classroom education. Don't aim it at all those audiences. Pick one, and teachers get their own stuff from the school systems. Mom and dads who are homeschooled are the huge market that need help and buy stuff. So if you can produce a book or series of books or e-books that are guides to homeschooling, there is a market for that. You're not the only one doing it, so you have to either have fresh subjects,
yes.
you know, and I don't know that it's been done before, but I could see, you know, chemistry for homeschooling, for homeschooled students, math, algebra for homeschooled students. You have to check to see who's done it and if it's overdone, but that would make sense. So definitely educator AD books, with the educators being moms who homeschool and dads.
Yeah, that homeschool definitely is a big market, and so I think there's definitely something there. But I like what you said, doing the chemistry for homeschool and kind of just niching it that way to the various subjects.
Yeah, I do too. From Jay, this is people who want income streams and oceans of cash, the Income Investor's Handbook. So is this about, when you say income investor, the immediate thing I think, Sandy, is this is about fixed income securities, it's about bonds, preferred stocks, convertibles.
Like that, yeah.
When you say income investor, so let's see what's on the next page, and if that's what he means. Well,
all right,
let's go to the next page. This doesn't clarify it. This doesn't clarify it either.
And I think that's it, right? So
yeah, so you're maybe using the wrong term. Income investors in the financial world is very specifically bonds, MLPs, energy royalty trusts, and preferreds and convertibles.
Things, yeah. I think this is too broad right now the way it is.
It is.
You know, how to create many income streams and oceans of cash. The title isn't even catchy enough because it sounds cliche, things I've heard before. I've heard many times how to create many income streams. The Income Investor's Handbook, things like that have been done. So I'm trying to figure it. I'm not sure in here what the compelling idea is. Okay, from Jody.
Yeah, I was going to say how to lose weight has been done to the death, but I wouldn't say and be happy over 50. How to lose weight, a guide for, and I would make it sex. I would make two different ones for men and one women. A woman's guide to losing weight at age 50 or beyond. And the beginning would explain what biological differences there are between women and men that make women gain weight in a certain way in certain areas. Then what happens to us women hormonally over 50 that causes them to put on more weight. And then part 3 is what you should be eating to take care of that. Part 4 is, should you be taking any supplements? And part 5 is, should you be doing any kind of specific exercise? So how to lose weight over 50, a guide for women or something like that, has possibilities.
I agree. And, you could even maybe, I wonder if you want to be happy after 50, I wonder if there's a secondary line of a book about, being happy and fulfilled after 50.
I think that is a good second book, and because it really is a separate subject.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, do the weight loss, and then do the happy as a whole another set of books.
Yep. So good, Jody.
Kirby.
Okay. So the book is environmental stress screening. A standard part of most production programs for DoD hardware. This is so niched toward DoD and DOE contractors. And I used to work for a DoD contractor, Westinghouse Aerospace. And we wouldn't be looking to buy e-books and download them online. Also, this would only make sense if you were in the field, because I don't know what environmental stress screening is, although I'm sure manufacturing and quality control people do. This is very narrow. I think this would be better as a paperback or hardcover book for a Chilton or a McGraw-Hill or a John Wiley or a Van Nostrand Reinhold or a other technical publisher.
Yeah, and I'm just, you know, even like I see the proposed ebook as part of a tool to help in the building of a mailing list. I don't know that that could be done with this particular topic. You know, we want to build a mailing list. We want a big list. This, I don't see how that could be huge.
Yeah, I don't see this as, you know, as a as a list builder.
No.
You know, typically list builders are smaller premiums. If you want to see examples of what we use for list building, just go to www.bly.com/reports, and you can see the kind of reports that I offer to get people into my newsletter list. And by the way, when you look at that list, that page, keep in mind that page has a 49% conversion rate. So
that's wow.
Yeah, so my approach works.
Yeah,
and, I don't think this is a good list building thing. I think it's a good book, and again, a technical publisher is the right place for this.
Technical, there you go. That's, I think that's exactly what it is, technical.
Yeah. You know, like maybe one of the engineering institutes, you know, or one of the defense magazines or aerospace magazines.
That'd be cool, the defense thing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
See, Bob, so smart.
So this is Christine.
On your conversion rate.
I would have preferred just one idea. So I'm going to look at these again real quickly, and none of them, unfortunately, strikes me as very original. I've just heard all this before. If you're divorced with kids, of course you're parents. So the subhead, A Guide for Parents, you know, doesn't add anything. These are all well-expressed titles. They're all topics that people buy, but they are, you know, this is pretty generic, and I don't see how. Well, if you were submitting a publisher, a proposal to a mainstream publisher, you have to convince them to buy the book. You have to show how yours is unique, different, and better, and you have to do the same thing with an ebook to your buyer, to your audience, on your sales page. So I don't see that here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find if there's anything that pops in any of these titles of words that stick out, and I don't know.
Now, from transformed to transform, breaking the spells of your past is actually the main principle in Dianetics. That all our problems are based on subconscious memories or memories below the surface, and you have to get rid of them to escape your past. So it's definitely not original. Not that he copied it, but, you know, it's been done to.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. Again, I would have rather had one from everyone.
So let's just find one.
Yeah. Now, I like actually almost all of these. I'm very intrigued by how to get into Yale with a 1050 SAT score. What colleges are really looking for. Very interesting, and I think that would sell. Stop Hating Summer, How to Live with Your Kids. I don't know, you know, a lot of families, I enjoyed summers when my kids were young, but a lot of families, the kids drive you crazy, and they want to know what to do in the summer. So that could be useful. And SAT prep is not a new idea.
Yeah, that sounds like,
that's been done before. I mean, you know, it's passable, it's feasible, but number one is the strongest, and number two is the second strongest.
Exactly, because you can see a lot of people want to know how do you get in Yale with that. So
you're challenging
them. That's an eyebrow raiser.
Yeah, it really is.
All right.
So this is a Linda Adams. This is a perennial topic that's done, you know, frequently, or at least now and then. In case of death, challenges we face and tips on what to do when we lose our loved ones. It's a moving topic. She knows a lot about it. I don't know that a how-to book is the best here. You know, maybe I see this as, I would start with this. I would try to pitch it as a because of her story, which is very dramatic, as an article, not an ebook, for Family Circle, Ladies Home Journal, or one of the other women's magazines. See if you can get it published as an article there, and then maybe you can expand that into an ebook, or you can sell it to a traditional book publisher, for expansion. It's good stuff, but it is a topic that has been done a lot.
Yeah, so I'm just going to scan quickly if there's anything else in there.
Like the words of advice are good, but everyone I've heard before, none of this is original.
Okay.
Same here.
All right, we'll just
okay. Now, people are concerned about fluoride,
yes,
but the question again is, what I'm more concerned with is, since I don't sit and drink fluorides, are fluorides in all our water? And if they are, what the heck can I do about it? Are these industrial companies that are dumping them, is it getting into the water supply? I mean, if they're just dumping them, no one's standing at the waste stream and drinking it. So, fluoride has always been a problem. And, and yes, they do put fluoride in toothpaste, although I don't know if they still do anymore because of this. But, it's a problem. But this is just about the issue. This has to be more of a how-to book.
That's what I was scanning to see if there's any. This is just all the background, which we've heard a lot before. So
what I would call it is how to live a 100% fluoride-free life. Consume and accumulate 0% of this deadly toxin in your body, even though it's in all your water supply. Now, I don't know how you would do that because you drink water. Maybe there's filters that take it out, and she knows that, and we don't.
Maybe, but we can't see it here.
We can't see it here.
The idea that pops out that makes it different.
Yep.
All right, from Mark.
Okay, here, Mark is one of my online friends on social media. The problem is that this might work, but again, church marketing. Now, I don't know if that's aimed at priests, ministers, priests, ministers, and other religious heads of churches, or is there someone else who handles, I don't know who handles the marketing of churches. But this also sounds like if you could find it, I would go on Google in the AdWords tool and see how much marketing, maybe we did this, but how much traffic church marketing is getting. Because I'm not sure that people who aren't in churches search for this on the Internet. And if they're not searching for this on the Internet, then an e-book is the wrong format for it. And, again, I would go to a Christian publisher perhaps and see if they would carry it. Now, if you search church marketing and it's, 400,000 searches a month, then you have something, and then I would proceed and go ahead with this. Because I haven't really seen, there probably are others, but I haven't seen a lot in church marketing, and clearly Mark knows, you look, this is a good table of contents.
Yes.
He knows step by step how to do it. Yeah, so this is a solid table of content, which I think could work as the beginning of an e-book or also as a proposal to a publisher.
Yeah, it does definitely feel like, you could see where this could have some potential here for marketing churches and stuff, and especially if Mark knows how to do it, I can see, he put that expertise.
Not only does he know, but if you read his bio, he's very qualified.
Yeah, I feel like there could be something definitely done with this for sure.
I do. Yeah, Mark, keep going.
Okay.
Mike Connolly.
I'm going to keep.
Go the next slide for Mike.
Yeah, let's see.
Well, we can't do every. I see what they are. Oh, it's a series on emails and landing pages.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I am not sure the demand is there that coaches are, but you know what? The more I look at this, the more positively I feel about it. There's so much about email marketing today, but mortgage brokers are very marketing oriented. Coaches and consultants are marketing oriented. And so, yeah, they might want this. I'm not sure why Templates and Secrets are two separate books. I think one book should cover all of what I want to know about email. You know, and then we could have a separate book on, and I think we'd have a separate chapter on testing, not a separate book. Landing pages is a separate topic.
Mm-hmm.
So
like
those are good.
The 29 sales letter templates for house flippers, rehabbers, and landlords.
That would do very well because collections of forms, letters, boilerplate documents always do very well.
Exactly.
And I've seen them for I've seen this for landlords already, but I haven't seen it for house flippers and rehabbers.
Yeah, rehabbers. So I like that one a lot. I think that one.
That's a good one too.
Yep. So yeah, okay.
In fact, that was my favorite on the list.
All right, good.
Yeah. So Nancy, Business Essentials series. Everybody's doing a series. No one's given us a single ebook.
Everybody's thinking beyond.
A series of ebooks covering the basic tenets of major business disciplines. This has been done to the death in ebooks, Kindle ebooks, traditional ebooks. So let's go and see if there's any point of differentiation. I would have to say, looking at this, no. I've seen all this before. In fact, number one on the list, I actually wrote a book on this, on business ethics that was published by AMI. So these have all been done. So you know, you need to focus. You need to pick one, perhaps, and then focus on that and blow it out. Now, if I look at your list, I'm trying to think. Right now, none of the items on the list pops out as something I'd say, yeah, that would work. So I think we have to rethink this. What you have to do is define the market a little bit, narrow it, you know, for family-owned businesses, for husband and wife businesses, for businesses with 2 to 10 employees. Niche it and then get into what they need to do.
Yeah, I like the family-owned business. I think that could work. That could work. That sounds interesting, and so to have these different things, these essentials would be kind of neat there. All right, from Nikki. On lemons, a book.
This is good. I like this because I drink all the time. It's just my favorite drink. Water, ice water with lemon, and I am interested. I didn't realize it detoxes, so I would like her to encourage that. How much do you drink? You have to drink 3 8-ounce glasses a day. How much lemon do you squeeze in each glass? My wife squeezes half a freaking lemon in the glass. I say she's wasting our money. I take a little slice, but you know, how does it work? You know, what other things would complement it? I like this.
Yeah, and Nikki even said she wants to do the research for details, which I think will be important to figure out how you could, you know, come up with a really exciting title for this. You know, I wonder too if there are, I'm just trying to think of the right words, like, you know, I'm thinking international, European, like global, like what other countries would use lemons and how they do it and their secrets, you know, so you could pull in all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Is there a Chinese secret to lemon and water?
Or how else do they use it? Do they squeeze it in their tea? Do they make a dish with it? Because, you know, yeah, this is good. There was a book that they used to advertise in Parade magazine, I don't know if you remember, was 101 Health Benefits of white vinegar. So this is that kind of book.
Yep, that's
and that book sold like crazy, so I like this.
Yeah. All right, from Nita.
So handling your diagnosis, take every step story. Cancer survival and ways to live a healthier life. So both my wife and I, Amy and I, are cancer survivors. So this rings with me.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely there's a market for this information. I think the copy is pretty good. This is more like a sales piece, not an ebook. So it could sell. Not that there aren't already a lot of products on this, but I don't think there's enough for cancer survivors. Maybe we want to simplify the title to Cancer Survivor's Guide for a Happy, Healthier, Worry-Free Life or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just forwarding, see if there's anything else that really pops out here.
Yeah, I mean, these are the things I would expect in it. Yeah, I mean, she's really qualified. This is worse than what I had, and my tumor didn't explode. And so she knows, you know, her credibility is beyond question.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be able to empathize with the reader and they with her in ways that other authors could not.
Mm-hmm. Good, yeah, and you know, just in general, like I like her writing. I like how she's telling the story. So
this is very good writing.
Yeah.
It could work as a sales letter.
Exactly, yeah. So that could be a whole nother avenue for you if you didn't do ebooks. Maybe consider.
Yeah, this is good as copy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you could write health copy.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, Raphael, 2 topics. No one does one topic. We'll give a prize to the first person that does one topic.
Just one.
Only kidding. I don't have any prizes lined up. So one is seminar program to see clients, and the other is gardening. So they're 2 completely different things.
Yeah.
So the first niche is buying and selling residential real estate, which is a huge niche with demand almost beyond anything that it could ever be filled up. People who buy books on make money in real estate don't buy one. You know, they buy 5, they buy 10.
Yeah.
So even though there's a lot of others, they'll buy, you know, if yours looks good, they'll buy yours. The topics, outgrowing home sweet home, doesn't excite me as much. People know they're outgrowing a home. How to buy and sell simultaneously. I don't see that as a big problem. I actually did it. There was nothing special about it. So I like the niche, but you need
catchy,
better ideas, better content, better ideas.
Yeah.
And on the next one, with edible gardening, again, this has been done before. Now, there's a big appetite for gardening and food books, but it has to be something different. You know, like, you know, growing vegetables and herbs indoors with hydroponics or something like that.
Something like that, yeah, and just make it stand out. Randall?
Now, diabetes is a perennial seller, and it is an epidemic in our country. Once again, we have the problem that I have seen this. There are so many books published in this, and in this case, you know, I think people who have diabetes, they don't buy a million books. You know, they get one, they don't really like to read it, but, you know, a lot of diabetics try to ignore their diabetes, but you can't. It's very dangerous. And these all seem different titles for the different titles for the same book.
Different title ideas,
None of them pops out. You know, a Boardroom has a wonderful diabetes book that he should order from Boardroom Publishing and see if his is different and better than that.
I'm just going to see if there's anything.
Let's see, the strength of the diet. Yeah, I mean, what he says about it, all make sense, but it's not new. So either one of two things. He needs a big hook, or he needs a medical credential, which I don't think he has.
Right.
He has a patient credential. He's diabetic, but not a medical thing. So maybe he needs to have at least a forward by an MD.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And Sandra?
Sandra, after state government. There's two ideas here. First, I don't know how many people leave state government, but if there's a significant amount of people that do it, the book idea makes sense. Switching from the public to the private sector, real career strategies, some blah, blah. It does make sense. And you'd have to see, if there are affiliates that would have career lists or that would go to government employees. So, I think that could work. Secrets of starting a freelance career while working full-time, there's a word for that, moonlighting. So, and this is more specific about freelance, but that's, that's what moonlighting is. You do some of your freelance work while you still have your job. And I think there's interest in that. And I would go to the Google keyword search tool and see how much people have searched the word moonlighting. That'll give you a clue to whether this is something people are looking for on the internet. So both of these are feasible. You there, Sandy?
Sorry, I had my mute on. The dogs are barking.
No. So I said both of these are feasible.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like something there. I feel like too, like secrets of starting a freelance career while working full time. I feel like that topic's been covered a lot, so it would be a matter of trying to do it in a way that sounds different and original.
But the first one, if it's been covered a lot, I'm not aware of it. So I would search on Google. I would search on Amazon. If there's a gazillion books on Amazon on it, maybe I'm less enthusiastic, but I don't think there is, and I think it's a good topic that's probably underserved.
Okay, from Wendy.
Okay. I don't know if she's selling information on marketing for forestry companies or if she's selling copywriting services or if she's selling a book on marketing that's sort of like the guy's book, Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten, Everything You Need to Know About Marketing, You Get a Lesson from Forestry. So I'm not making the connection. If this is a book on marketing, I don't think most marketers say, oh, it's just like forestry. So I don't think this will appeal to, I don't think this has the right appeal. I don't think people are walking around going, wow, I could learn a lot from forestry.
Yeah, unless it's aimed at in the forestry industry and marketing, I'm not
sure.
And
then it sounds like she's trying to sell her services.
Right.
Why would you trust anyone but a professional? You don't sell in ebooks. People buy them to learn how to do something, not for a sales pitch or for you to convince them, even subtly that they really need a pro and that pro is you. So I would stay away from that.
Okay, from Loretta.
This is from Loretta. How to positively change your thinking, feeling, and attitude in 30 days. How to positive thinking and changing attitude has been done to the death. The angle here that's a little bit different is in 30 days, but I am skeptical of the claim.
Yeah, and I might flip the whole thing around and put 30 days first, just to make it pop even more. If
the 30-day plan
to
positively changing your thinking, feeling, and attitude. That's better.
I love the 30-day plan, or as we said earlier, 30-day blueprint for changing your thinking.
Yeah.
I think that would just gives it a whole different spin. It makes it a little bit more engaging.
Yeah, don't say in 30 days. Say the 30-day plan,
Yes.
the 30-day blueprint,
Right.
and then you organize the thing literally in 30 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you say, hey, you can do each of these a day, or if you don't have the time, you could do them in 3 days each, and then it'll take 90 days. Boardroom does this in their diabetes book.
From Mike on
from Mike,
lighting.
On LED lighting without a bank loan, how to convert your fluorescent fixtures to LEDs. Well, this is for a do-it-yourself audience, and the plus side is there's a big do-it-yourself audience. The negative is, I think, the thing do-it-yourselfers are most afraid of is electricity. You know, we'll hang a new door on new hinges. You know, we'll put in drywall, but electricity is the most dangerous thing, and therefore, I'm not sure that they feel comfortable doing it. But I may be wrong, and certainly, you know, I think it's a novel idea, and I'm not sure though that people want retrofits from LED or fluorescent retrofits, but they probably do. I don't know lighting well enough. So I think this has possibilities, but he knows better than we do whether it does or not.
And, you know, something like this, it makes me think when I always go to, like, a Home Depot and we go get lights and we go to that aisle, and there sometimes are people come up and help you figure this stuff out. So this could be, you know.
Yeah, but they don't come to your home.
No,
so they're not going to actually do the install for you.
No.
So I think this title needs to say something like, say, you know, subhead, you know, without an electrician, so you save money. And, you know, because this is for a do-it-yourself market, I think. You know.
Okay, from Bill.
Okay. Again, no one will give us one idea. You're hedging your bets too much. African violets. My response is, what about African violets?
Yeah.
That's not an idea. It's not an idea. It's just words. 2 is about running long distances. Done to the death. 3 is a book, Banish Your Back Pain. Now that's a good title, and people are into it, but there's a lot of competition. There's a number of chiropractors who are active marketers on the internet. You may know some of them who cover this. Like there's the Healthy Back Institute, and there's Straw Chiropractic Clinics. There's a lot out there on how to take care of your back pain. So what has to be up here, up front, is in the head and subhead, is for the back pain, is that you have a novel approach. You use a different machine.
Exactly.
You know, you know, like most people don't use electrostim, and you do, or you use a chiropractic laser. You know, whatever. There has to be something different.
Right. Yeah, or maybe it's, you know, is it a time frame? Can you, you know, banish back pain in 21 days or something like that?
Time frame would be helpful if possible.
Right.
Yeah, time frame would definitely add to it.
Let me see if there's what else here. All right, so that's it for this. This is for Jennifer.
Okay, the most prodigious fan of the Dallas Cowboys number. I think we looked at this last time and we commented, you know, I don't see this as a book people would want. Why would people care about the memorabilia that one guy's collected unless he has a museum that you could go to?
Yeah, let's see if he's got it.
So this didn't work for me last time. It hasn't changed now.
Okay.
This is a repeat.
Michael.
Okay. So.
What is this?
I'm not sure I understand this. Do you want to go to the next slide? What's the other option? Perseverance on the copywriting path.
So I guess maybe inspirational, motivational books to continue to learn copywriting?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure.
pushy.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that this is something people would pay money for. You know, I could see perseverance. Yeah, there's a lot of searches for perseverance, for self-motivation, and for copywriting, but I don't see searches for perseverance in copywriting. I'm not sure.
It's more like an article, I think, than it
sounds like an article for the Golden Thread, or for
Writer's Life, exactly.
Or the Writer's Life, or Writer's Digest magazine.
Yeah,
I don't see this as an ebook.
All right, so we'll just go from this is Anthony.
Okay. This I like, probably because I'm going with the first idea.
Locksmithing.
Yeah. You know, because I've always been fascinated by locksmiths and locks, and I think homeowners would like to be able to, the do-it-yourselfers, to either pick the right type of lock, know how to specify a lock, know what home security. That's mine would be the homeowner's guide to basic locksmithing, and then something like I don't have the wording, but you know, a primer or a, you know, a primer to improving home security.
Home security. I like adding the word home security somehow in here, like you're suggesting as a subtitle, gives it that little extra edge.
Yeah, because a lot of people are searching for home security.
Exactly.
So I think that could be done. How to, you know, you can teach people how to install them yourselves, which kind are best. Right. You know, what kind of locks are very pickable. So I think there's something there.
Even from the cost of locks, which ones are, you know, from cheapest to expensive? Do you have to get an expensive one to get the best security?
Yeah, do you need double bolt? What about putting a lock?
Exactly.
What kind of lock do you put on a door that has a window on it? You know, that kind of thing. I might add, we skipped because he had one other idea. The Writer's Guide to Weapons, a practical reference for using firearms and knives in fiction. I believe the Writer's Digest book already has a whole series of books like this, so I think it'd be difficult to sell.
Okay. From Diane, the advantage of the enlightened child.
I mean, you want to help your child manage emotions, focus, not sure about what the power of intention is. I know mindfulness is very big now. I'm still not sure I know what that is.
Let me flip to the next one and see. What? Wait a minute.
Well, this is for a different book. So let's stay on this for a second. Okay. The title, Help Your Child Manage Emotions, Focus, and the Power of Intention isn't bad, but I don't know what the enlightened child is.
Yeah.
And I don't know that, you know, I don't know this is about the advantage of an enlightened child. It's how to, you know, enlighten your child, or how to create a more enlightened child, something like that.
Yeah, even then that's kind of tough for parents to sort of wrap their mind around. What exactly do you mean by that? So.
Yeah, people will say, "What do you mean by that?"
Right.
I think it's a little warm and fuzzy.
All right. So now, is this the second one? So we want to do another hers, or want to go to the next one?
Stay on this. This is her second one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let's go to the next person because we want to give everyone.
Oh, all right. Well, there we are.
Is that the end?
That's it.
So go back one slide. We'll do her.
Okay.
We'll do her
while you do that, I'm going to see if we have questions.
Oh.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Oh. I didn't hear my book. Hello.
Yeah, I'm not sure why someone. Cameron. Yeah, an audience member isn't supposed to ask questions. You'd have to ask Cameron or Sandy. What?
Richard, I'll look into that. Sorry about that. Lines aren't supposed to be unmuted, so I don't know how that happened. But Richard, we'll look into where your review was and see if we received it.
Well, but while you're on the line, what was your book about?
Let me unmute Richard. Hold on.
Yeah, might as well do it right now if you.
Yeah, let's do it right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Richard unmuted?
There you go, Richard. You're unmuted.
Okay.
So, Richard, I don't have it, but what was your book about? What was the title?
You don't have the description and the...
the Vampire Girl in London. Richard, I see your comment. He did do that one. I remember it.
Yeah,
we did that one.
No, I missed the first few minutes, and...
Oh, this is recorded, so you could...
Yeah, it's recorded. We did it already.
If you did it...
Yeah.
We liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be on. That's why you have to be on time. Not scolding him, but you know, everyone heard it. We can't do it again. But if he hears the recording, it'll be the first one we do, and he won't have to listen to the whole thing. Basically, if he's listening now, I said that I liked it. I would read it. Vampire books are popular. My only fear is that the genre at some point is becoming overcrowded, is saturated. How to speak contractor, how to speak to a lawyer, how to speak to a doctor. This might work, but the problem is you normally are successful with ebooks on a topic. So how to speak to a doctor is completely different than how to speak to a contractor. So you need a series on ebooks, how to get the best doctor care, how to solve your legal problems. How to speak to blank is better with a traditional publisher that would bring out a series of books like that. I don't think it would work in an ebook because the person who's going to buy how to speak to a contractor not necessarily going to buy how to speak to a doctor. A health-minded person would do that more likely. I may be wrong, but that's my impression.
And I would agree. So let's go through some questions since we've gone through the reviews.
Okay.
We'll just do a few. So we have one that's asking, I understand that the more niche the ebook title is, the better. However, because, this is the one on cancer, because cancer is on the rise, this is why I focused on handling cancer diagnosis as opposed to handling a brain cancer diagnosis. Would like your feedback on this.
I did not understand the question.
All right. So I think it's about relating to, I understand that the more niche the ebook title is, the better. But in her case, and we'd have to go all the way back to that example on the brain cancer. The cancer's on the rise, and that's why she's focusing on handling cancer itself as a diagnosis, I think, as opposed to niching it to a particular cancer. Maybe the question.
I don't think you need to niche it. No, I don't think you need to niche it to a professional, into a particular cancer, although some people do. There are whole books that have been written on prostate cancer, on breast cancer. Mm-hmm. Those are the two ones, and those are the two ones that have gotten the most niched coverage. So you can do a book on cancer, and your copy was very good, and your personal story is dramatic enough, if a lot of interesting things happened and you learned a lot, that it might carry the book. So it could work.
Okay, just looking at, actually don't see a whole lot of other questions. A lot of comments, people thanking for the time. Joyce is asking if you had a late submission and wondering if Bob's going to look at it separately.
I can't hear you because there's a dog.
Dog. So Joyce is wondering, Joyce had a late submission. I guess she didn't make it for this webinar. Is wondering if you're willing to look at her submission separately.
Yeah, just email it to Cameron or to Sandy or AWAI. They'll pass it on to me, and I'll take a look at it.
And I think that's the questions that I don't see any that are not answered, and maybe Cam can take one other quick look, but I think we've gotten through. The questions have been answered. Cam's been doing a great job answering them as we've been going along. So,
how many pages is the goal?
Sorry?
Do we have a goal on how many pages for the book? Maxine was asking.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no set goal, but an average ebook has 50 pages, 300 words a page, so it's about 15,000 words long. By comparison, if If you go in a bookstore and buy a hardcover or trade paperback book that's 200 pages, it's about 80,000 words long. So ebooks are shorter, smaller, and even though they're, you know, 1/6, 1/7 the length of a bookstore book, the bookstore book in paperback might cost $12. The ebook can cost $39 because it's on a more specialized, more niche topic. And that's why they sell for more.
Okay, great. I don't see any more questions. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Great.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Everyone, yeah, for all the submissions. And Bob, great job as always.
And if you, you know, if we gave you a, you know, a lukewarm review, it was not to get you down. It was to say your idea and your writing, they were all good, but some of them need to be made, again, I'll use the word different, unique, or better. That's what customers look for. That's what publishers look for. If you go to a publisher, my gold rule with ebooks is if I don't think it would sell to a publisher because it's not different enough, I don't think it'll sell well as an ebook. Don't do the same stuff that everyone else has already done. Put your own spin, send it to a niche, aim it at a different market segment or a different application or a different approach. Has to be special, different, unique. And that's the main thing I saw in reviewing these. Some were and some weren't.
Yeah, and that's in general for anything when writing copy for a client, you know, starting your own business. It's those things that are very different, unique, that catches people's eye and stands out. So you want to strive for the same thing here, even with writing ebooks. Okay, well,
okay.
All right, well, that's another good session. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Cameron, Sandy.
Always good. All right, bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.